Hi, I'm Paul Bernard, President and CEO of Affordable Homes and Communities, AHC. We are a affordable housing owner, operator, and developer serving Northern Virginia, Maryland, as well as the DC area. What differentiates us from perhaps other groups is 50% of my staff, they are resident services. So we are a believer in providing both the home, the physical unit, as well as the support systems for our residents. We are fortunate to have been around. We're celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. We started with a vision around social justice and equity, and we own and operate 56 different communities, 8,800 units, and we serve approximately 20,000 folks annually. We are honored to have partnered with the folks we've partnered with, the county and Habitat, as well as our development team. Allium Place is a model because that public-private partnership really allows us to share the burden, share the cost, and get more done with less resources. Allium Place also serves as a model because it is a micro neighborhood with different mixed uses. It incorporates a number of different housing typologies and types. The standard multifamily, garden style, condominium, as well as single family homes. In addition to that, Allium Place has a passive recreational park setting there, and it has the child care component to it. So it really is symbolic of what housing and is all about. Housing has to be both providing the home as well as providing the services. What allows me to sleep good at night is our mission, which really is putting residents at the heart of what we do. Knowing that we are providing safe, decent, and affordable housing, knowing that we are at every day, at every step, attempting to improve the model of service to give folks a chance and an opportunity, and then internally creating that neighborhood and community feel.
My name is Jonathan R. Butler, Director for Prince George's County Department of Housing and Community Development. My organization is the Department of Housing and Community Development, and we're responsible for the production and preservation of affordable housing. We're responsible for community development through major programs. We're also responsible for increasing and expanding home ownership throughout Prince George's County. Over the last several years, what we've done is actually supported about $1.3 billion in housing total development costs and total rehabilitation costs for multifamily rentals, thereby yielding over 7,000 affordable units in Prince George's County. Regarding home ownership, we are actually expanding our home buying assistance portfolio. An immediate success story that comes to mind is a recent ribbon cutting that we did in the county that actually delivered several beautiful net zero homes. Prince George's County Department of Housing and Community Development were instrumental in providing significant gap financing to enable the development and delivery of those affordable homes. We also leverage our home buying assistance programs to offer down payment and closing cost assistance for those very same buyers of those same homes. We reinforce stability for families, seniors, and the workforce in Prince George's County. We create communities that spur local economic development in Prince George's County. And all of this ultimately attracts investment and supports our local county-based businesses and promotes long-term prosperity for Prince George's County. So, in my opinion, Prince George's County is really the new promised land within the National Capital Region. And that is why I smile every day.
Hi, I'm Marquand Jackson, Vice President of Resident Services at True Ground Housing. True Ground Housing is an affordable housing developer here in the DMV. We have over 2,500 units in play right now and have another 1,200 in construction. We provide housing in high opportunity areas for folks who are in search of affordable housing. At True Ground Housing, we think it's important to do with residents and not for residents. So we're always trying to hear the voice of the resident because we recognize that we're outsiders and this is their home. And so we're asking, what could we do more of? What could we do different? What could we do better? And what could we change? Because ultimately we want to build community at True Ground, but we want to build with and not for. What I think about resident services now is that we're understanding that you can't just build the units. You also need to complement the units with services, because we understand if folks need assistance with affordable housing and rent, they also may need assistance with food insecurity, navigating complex systems that they're eligible for, and or folks helping navigate barriers and other social service networks that could benefit their upward mobility. When I first arrived to True Ground, the delinquency was trending $2 to $3 million. What we did was we were intentional about staffing up. When I arrived, True Ground Resident Services had a team of 4. We now have a team of 25. So our commitment to residents and resident services has grown over the last 5 years. And as a result, we've been able to bring that eviction rate down to 1%. Resident services help navigate day to day for folks. And what we do is just complement and help navigate what it is that they feel is important, because they are in control of their own destiny. I told folks that my job while here was to work myself out of a job. And at the end of the day, what I feel most proud about when I shut my office door is that I know that what I did during that day impacted someone's life for the better.
Hi, I'm Maia Shanklin-Roberts, the Vice President of Development for Preservation of Affordable Housing. The one-for-one replacement at Berry Farm is mandated. It requires us to build replacement units for all the former Berry Farm residents. On the Berry Farm site, there will be 380 replacement units built within all of our multifamily buildings. We're ensuring that this redevelopment honors the legacy by first learning that history. It was established in 1867 by freedmen. The number of activists, the number of innovators that come from that community, birthed in that community, Junkyard Band, I mean, the history of go-go is from there, right? And so this is what we're honoring. And so how do we build a physical environment that supports that legacy, furthers it, to honor the power that is already existing and figuring out ways to highlight it? What is a critical part of this project is ensuring that former residents, but also the entire Berry Farm community, feels like they're stakeholders in this project. Returning isn't just defined and coming back to a unit. It's making sure you come back to the community as a whole. But equity has to be intentional to ensure that we have everybody at the table and that we are ensuring that those benefits transfer to, those who have been marginalized and disenfranchised. The question that the team is constantly asking is, how do we become more inclusive? The entire team needs to reflect what is Washington, D.C., needs to have natives at the table. And so that's what equity kind of looks like. One important thing for people to know about POA is, we are deeply invested in the DMV and deeply connected to the work that we're doing in this region and believe strongly in our work.
Hi, I'm Anya Kamra, and I am the Managing Director at Somerset Development Company. From the beginning, Somerset's mission has been beyond bricks and mortar. It's been about the residents and offering them vibrant communities to thrive in. There are 2 projects in particular that we're exceptionally proud of: the Faircliff here in Washington, D.C., and the Hammond at Greenmount Park in Baltimore. Faircliff Plaza East was the first property that Somerset Development ever invested in 25 years ago. Our principals, Nancy and Jim, they saw a neighborhood rapidly gentrifying, and they wanted to ensure that those residents could stay. We presented our redevelopment plan to the residents. They voted unanimously, and now on that same piece of land, there are 322 units of mixed income housing. The Faircliff is 125 units of all affordable housing. The building is Passive House certified and LEED Platinum certified. And then in Baltimore, we have the Hammond at Greenmount Park. We are so proud of it. What once was a vacant lot is now 109 units of mixed levels of affordable housing, an Enoch Pratt free library on the ground floor, gathering spaces available to the surrounding community, and a new community park about to be under construction. The affordable housing community ensures that this city can be for everybody. At the end of the day, we measure our success not by the buildings that we've built, but by the communities we've strengthened because of what we've built.